AI-linked stocks slump after China upgrades low-cost, low-power AI model. The markets have absolutely flushed, and some of the stocks that we've been waiting to see pull back so far in 2025 finally came back to some of the levels that I've been talking about them hitting. Specifically, Nvidia came all the way down to $117. The ideal target of buying long term would be right at this range or possibly as low as 116 or 114. Now, whenever we have a gap down day, I've got a gap down rule, which is to wait 3 trading days before taking a position. It prevents me from thinking everything will be a V-shaped recovery. I got into that when I started trading. Just like everybody else, retail's always looking for that beautiful V-shaped recovery, but that's not what Wall Street always gives us. And so the rule, the 3-day gap up or gap down rule, was created for me, my disciplines. You can do you, but these are the disciplines that I follow. Now, I am watching for a long-term position in Nvidia because it's finally come back to a level that is appealing, but we have this big China AI problem. It's caused a massive smackdown on all of the chip makers and the AI tech stocks. We've got Nvidia was hit the hardest, going down over 11%. SMCI going down over 8%. Dell going down over 7%. AVGO had a huge gap down. This has actually been one of my favorite up-running stocks, but it started the day off down 12% and kept falling. Oracle down 8.6%. AMD pushed down under sell pressure for quite a while. And if we break our current local low, then this absolutely could go down to $98. Now, I'm not predicting that. I actually believe that this is on a high alert watch list to buy. It's come down quite a bit, and it could be finally reaching long-term investable price levels. This is one that we didn't chase. It had a little pop-up recently, but has yet again come back to local support. And if it holds over the next couple days, this is going to be one that I'm going to be going long on. AMD is very, very close to being done and ready for a potential reversal. But we want to follow the charts, not try to get ahead of them. Palantir got punished, falling down quite a bit, and TSMC down over 10%. China's in it to win it, just like everybody else, and the only way the U.S. can actually respond to this is with greater technological innovations. Just like I said in my last video, we have a lot going on this week, and there's going to be huge money-making opportunities, and it's already shaping up as some stocks have gotten into buy range. But in addition to that, we haven't even gotten to the middle of the week or the heavy big tech earnings that are coming out this week, because we're going to see a lot more movement in these markets. And I can tell you that if big tech doesn't come out and deliver, then they're absolutely going to get crushed this week. We've got Apple reporting this earnings, but the next one up that I'm watching is Meta, which reports on Wednesday. And as I told you guys in the past, I'm going to be covering these in the next couple days, in the next couple of videos, so you don't want to miss a single video this week. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you for hitting the like. If you need help trading these choppy markets and getting day-to-day analysis on hot stocks, hit that subscribe and join the community. All right, I talked about 3 stocks to buy in 2025, and I just wanted to check in on those and talk about how they performed in this incredible down day. Actually, in the morning, they were all up. Which stocks are those? Snow, Intel, and Alibaba. So again, I'm going to highlight these that on a day like today, they didn't gap down. They actually went higher. Now, with all of the selling pressure, they were pulled down a little bit, but for me, those were additional buying opportunities. I also commented on the fact, and have been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks, that I sold all of my altcoins. And as each day and week goes by, the prices of alts are coming back, and they're coming lower, and I'm beginning to buy again. What am I buying? Well, I bought XRP today at $2.70. I bought SUI as it pulled back. I warned specifically about SUI in the last 2 videos, saying that this wasn't a buy right now, that it was absolutely technically selling off, and we saw that today, and hopefully you guys heeded that. Now, I'm going to share a crypto with you that I bought today, and I'm intending to buy more. and I think it's going to surprise you guys. I've got a crypto segment in this video you don't want to miss. What is SWJ buying in big dollar amounts that would surprise you guys? Well, I'll tell you here in just a minute, but let's take a minute still and talk about some of the earnings that we have on hand. Now, SoFi reported earnings. Initially, the stock popped and had a nice little move up, but then they gave guidance and it fell. Now, personally, we don't have a sell signal on SoFi just yet, but we definitely have a hold signal, and hold signals can turn to sell signals. Now, I'm not saying that the top has absolutely been hit, but this one is on hold and it's not active under a buy signal. It gapped down, and I'm going to wait 3 days and I'll assess it again in the Stocks with Josh Discord. Now, a stock that's doing pretty good is Starbucks. Now, they report Tuesday after market close, and this absolutely has a buy signal on it today, and it went up when a lot of other things fell. And I think that we have an up target of $102 and the possibility of hitting 107 on decent earnings. This company is under new management, and I would say under new good management, and I see opportunity for this to go higher. If it gets smacked down, there's major support at $95.50, but I'm imagining based on today's performance that we're going to see this continue to trend higher. So keep an eye on Starbucks going into earnings tomorrow. And then Meta. Meta also performed very well. Now, I highlighted these three companies because I saw them as having opportunity to the upside. SoFi pretty much just lost steam with that bad guidance, but it did initially move up. Starbucks is moving up, and Meta appears to be continuing to move higher as it gets closer to earnings. I think this could be a potential blow-off top moment for Meta, and right now we're at a critical spot on the chart of 652. Now, this is an area of historic resistance, and so it wouldn't shock me if when we get above it, if we come back beneath it, it would signal a longer downturn. But at the moment, we're pushing up against this historic resistance, and we could be getting a big blow up moment on Meta. So keep your eye on it. And yes, from a technical perspective, it's operating under an active buy signal. So let's take a minute and talk about crypto real quick. SUI, I sold every bit of it at $4.95. I reiterated that a couple times in the last week in recent videos. When everybody else was telling you to buy, I was telling you, no, I'm not in it. You guys know I loved SUI, and I told you that XRP had more of my attention right now. Now, everything pulled back, and I think that XRP and SUI presented themselves as buying opportunities to potentially buy the dip, but technically, there is some mixed signals, specifically with SUI. SUI did have a buy the dip moment, and I believe that we could trend higher from here. But I will tell you that at the moment, it's activated under a sell signal. And so to go long right here definitely has some question marks. So for me at the moment, the SUI play is just a scalp as well as the XRP play. Now, the XRP chart looks better, and I'm a little bit more confident in it going higher. But the crypto that I bought that I think is going to shock a lot of you is I'm trying my hand at Ethereum again. Now, I've got my reasons. I did believe always that Ethereum would have its moment, and the money that I put into other altcoins definitely performed better in the last couple months, and I was smart to roll that money out of Ethereum and into those alts. But at this point, I'm sitting on too much cash, and I think that Ethereum is still poised to have its up moment. And there's some other interesting news about what the Trump boys are buying, and they're focused on Ethereum as well. There's some interesting opportunity and some news stories behind Ethereum, and so I've dipped my toe, I put my feet back in the water on Ethereum, and I'm letting you guys know. I'll cover it from a technical perspective more in the days ahead. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Stocks with Josh Discord setups that I gave this morning, and these have been the way to play this market. I have said this, and I'm going to repeat it. It's a trader's market. This has not been an investable market, but it has been a stock picker's market. And I gave you guys those three plays that performed well. I've highlighted some plays this morning, Starbucks and Meta, that are performing well. Winners keep winning. and some of these other stocks are getting crushed. So it's going to come down to, are you looking at the right stocks right now? Let me know in the comments which stocks you think is the best stock performer in your portfolio or the best investment that you have. For me, trading has been more successful because I've been able to take advantage of the up moves and the down moves, and I'm not coming to the market every single day with a bias. Now, you know that my bias has leaned bearish, but as the stocks have come down, things have begun to get interesting as investable. From a long-term perspective, we're getting very close. I will be alerting that in the Discord here very soon. Nvidia puts were a huge win to the downside. I said get into puts if the price crosses below $121.60. And as you guys can see, it flushed down to where we wanted to see it. The targets were 120 and then 116. And I would largely say that was a 100% winner today. Tesla calls, they actually went higher in the day coming off of a low, but later in the day, the move was to the downside. But if you caught a piece of those Tesla calls, they printed early in the morning when things were slightly recovering. But it is also right on the threshold of a place of decision. And I'm just going to go back to something we've talked about. It is consolidating between this $377 and $408 level. But the fact is that you guys know that the only real support on the Tesla chart is down at 350 because it ran up so quickly. It can also fall very quickly. This week, Tesla earnings are at hand, and so it's going to be a very volatile week. And I'm going to be trading this day by day, not taking any long positions unless we come back to that 350. Now, that could mean if they came out with great earnings and this shot back up, I don't get to add to my long shares, which is okay with me. I want to be buying and in making long-term investments at very attractive prices, and we're very close to seeing whether or not we could get something like that with Tesla. I'm letting you guys know that I have money sitting on the sidelines to buy that level, and if we got down there, it could happen after market, it could happen pre-market. But I don't think that it would stay down there very long. I think that it would present itself as a long-term buying opportunity, but it doesn't mean that we're going to get it. So let's talk a little bit about a couple other big tech companies, Apple being the one that I've got to highlight. This was going up when everything else was going down, and it's not that much of a surprise. But I want to tell you guys, does that mean that there's an active buy signal on Apple right now? No. There is for sure a sell signal on Apple right now. This has not got a buy signal. This has a sell signal. But I believe that we're testing the top of the range, and that I believe is $234. It has to actually get above $239 for that sell signal to flip and turn into a buy signal. Right now, this is operating under a sell signal, but it's bouncing off of its bottom right before earnings. Now, again, I've called this down to $216, and that would be the ideal price to go long. But largely, I think this is going sideways. Right now, we're testing the top of the range, possibly to 234, but then I think we still have major risk all the way back down to what I see forming a neckline at 216. So for those who are going to be patient investors and possibly wait for this to hit 216, that's going to be the best entry for 2025 and the best risk entry for myself looking down the road in this year. Big tech is under sell pressure, and it's amazing how quickly the sentiment of investing can change. It didn't really take much, but now everybody's afraid to buy big tech. But if it gets down to these historic levels of support, I personally think I'm going to be a buyer. So guys, I'm going to leave it right there. Let me know what you are investing in today. I also like eBay. This is another one I haven't talked much about, but I was looking at the chart today and it looked good. I'm going to be covering a lot of stocks in the videos this week, so make sure you tune in for the next video. Take care. Peace and blessings. Talk to you soon.